Moving goods around by truck has been an essential part of national and international logistics systems for decades, and a key factor keeping our economies moving. But the arrival of digital technology is set to revolutionize that in ways that were unthinkable only a few years ago. Before too long, trucking and logistics will be made up of an ecosystem of autonomous vehicles directed by a digitized supply chain, combining driverless trucks with no cabs and delivery hubs staffed by robots. The image of the trucker taking a break at a truck stop with his truck parked in the lot may become a thing of the past. Driving all of this change will be a range of new technologies and cloud-based digital solutions. And one solution in particular promises potentially huge cost savings in the entire shipping and logistics chain. That is the adoption of automated freight matching, which is the next big piece of the digital trucking puzzle to fall into place. Put simply, automated freight matching allows a product made in a factory to be delivered to wherever it needs to go, thanks to a communications chip embedded in it that sends digital signals. These signals can be used to decide the ideal time for the item to be picked up at the factory, assess the availability of vehicles, and direct the load to a distribution hub, from which the item is delivered to the end customer. And automated freight matching is one of a number of technologies that will work together to create an end-to-end supply chain solution. An overarching system completely digitized and automated that will manage supply chains in the future. Here's how it would work. In a fully automated end-to-end supply chain, a product on an assembly line would be built with a digital capability to send a signal and book transport for its delivery when it was close to being completed. It would already know the address of the customer it was being shipped to. The freight matching system would send a signal from the package looking for available capacity on the road at that time and which trucks were going in the right direction. At the same time, technology within the trucks and trailers would automatically communicate their used and available load capacity and vehicle trajectory. Still in the factory, the smart product would get back a list of available options and use the algorithm it was programmed with to pick the best one. Once delivered to the loading bay of the factory, it would be picked up by a robot and loaded onto the right truck, which would then drive itself to a distribution hub and use a global positioning system to find the right delivery bay. There, a robot would unload it and take it to the electric vehicle, which would deliver it the short distance to the customer at a pre-agreed time and location. Add all of this up, and we estimate that logistics costs could be almost halved from where they are currently by the year 2030. By far the biggest factor delivering those cost savings, about 80% of the total, will be a reduction in the labor required. In addition, we think that delivery lead times will fall by 40% and trucks will be in use for 78% of the time rather than 29% now. This has huge implications for truck makers and the companies that buy their products. To stay competitive, truck makers will need to start producing mostly automated vehicles, making software much more important. The relevance of cab interiors and their design appeal to drivers will fall away. Cabless automated trucks effectively become platforms for the technology which directs them, with a trailer attached. To differentiate themselves from other platform makers, truck makers will need to develop into mobility-as-a-service providers, competing with leasing companies operating fleets of autonomous trucks. If they don't do this, they risk falling down the value chain, selling commoditized autonomous trucks to tech companies which will automate the roles performed by leasing, trucking, and logistics operators now. Embracing this change and acting now will be vital to ensure that truck makers, logistics operators, and trucking companies have a bright future in an era of fully automated freight. A transformation that will create a new and more cost-efficient supply chain by 2030. Strategy and create strategy that works.